Hello everybody and welcome to Trade with Precision's free newsletter for the 14th of June 2016. My name's Simon Clarke. In this newsletter I'm going to be taking a look at three key markets that I'm keeping a very close eye on for trading opportunities right now. Now the first market I want to take a look at here is the Aussie dollar. If we look at the higher time frames here, there doesn't look to be an awful lot of direction in the market. There's certainly where the market is at the moment, it certainly seems to be in rather sort of mid-flow and no real clear direction between strength and weakness. However, if we start to come down to the weekly chart here and start to open this up a little bit, we can start to see that there's a real structure level around 7,400 here where the market's tested many times before. Its market certainly found resistance here, certainly a number of times. It's also found support here, and it's sitting right at that level at the moment. So because this is such a key level, it's been tested so many times before, you can see that just by going back in past that there's been some very reasonable trading opportunities off that level, and that's what I'm looking for again around this 7,400 level. If I come down to the 1 day chart here, we can see that the 7,400 level here, market's actually just underneath it at the moment. Again, here on the daily there's no real clear direction in trend. We've certainly got a move up from 71.50, but then the market sort of pulled back underneath this level. So the way I'm looking at this is that the market needs a lot of strength to break through the level and continue higher, and then if it does, well, we've got sort of 7,500, we've also got 7,700 up here, so very reasonable moves to the upside. Likewise on the downside, we've got another couple of structure levels in here around 71.50, which is the previous lows here, and then of course sort of 68.50, which is the old low down here too. So yeah, in either direction we've got potentially some very reasonable moves. If we come down to the 4-hour chart, this is more the sort of time frame that I'm looking for sort of trading opportunities on. Again, you can see we've got some nice small candles there at the moment, sitting around that sort of level, and looking for opportunities once the sort of confirmation of this level has been decided. If we come and take a look at the next market here that I want to take a look at, which is Great British Pound against the Yen. Now, pound yen is a little bit more clearer in direction. When we start to look at these higher time frames, we can certainly see that the market's been in a nice downtrend for some time. If we can take a look at this weekly chart in a bit more detail though, we can see that we've had a nice clear downtrend. There's certainly been some nice structure levels that the market's tested many times before, and the one that's most of interest at the moment is around this 52 level. So sorry, 152 level. We can see that the market sort of tested this a few times. We've now sort of broken through this in the context of a downtrend. So 152 should act as a level of potential resistance above price action. If we come and take a look at this on the daily chart, we can see our 152 level, we can see the context of the downtrend here, and we've also see that the downtrend is confirmed with convergence on our indicators too. So a bit of a pullback into this level would be quite reasonable, and before we get a continuation of the trend. Now, if we start to come down to the lower time frames, coming down to the 4-hour chart here, again we can start to see some rather interesting price action. We've got our indicators all in the right order here. We've got a nice downtrend again on the 4-hour with convergence, so it's supported, the momentum is supported in the same direction, and the market's just sort of pulled back up to 152. From interesting sort of candles here, the fact that the market's tested 152, failed to hold up there, and then it's sort of dropping back again. It's done this on a couple of occasions, so I still think that we might get a bit of a push back up here towards 152 just for the higher time frame extension there, but then I'm looking for opportunities around this area for shorting opportunities to trade the market again shorter back down here towards 149 and beyond. Now, the last one I'm going to take a look at today is gold. So let's come and take a look at the gold market. Now, gold, again, when we start to look at the market here on the higher time frames, certainly here on the weekly chart, the market doesn't really again look like in any clear direction. What I like about this is the fact that we're looking like we're starting to get some movement in the market after, well, if we look at the monthly chart here, we can see that been pretty much sort of sideways for quite some time. Certainly there's potentially quite a reasonable move for gold to strengthen and even for gold to weaken as well. So taking a look at the weekly chart here, if we just open this up a little bit, we can see the context of the trend here. We've started to get an uptrend in the market. Has made a lower low, coming back down to retest 1.2 here, 1,200. That's been proven as support, and now the market's moving back up towards this key level of 1.300. I think 1.300 certainly the next sort of line in the sand, and beyond that we can see that there's sort of pretty much not a lot in the way of prices moving higher. So that's what I like about the potential here to the high side. But come and take a look at the daily chart. We can see that, past few days here the market's been extremely strong. So again, I'm looking for continuation up here to at least the 1.300 before we get maybe a pause, maybe a bit of a retracement before the market re-breaking that and retesting that 1.300 and looking for higher prices. Now, the reason I like this market is that when we come down to the mid time frames, the 8-hour chart, the 4-hour chart, we've just got some beautiful optimal chart structure here to trade. We've got moving averages all in the right order, lovely clear trend structure, and also lovely convergence here on our indicators too. Come down to the 4-hour chart, it's sort of looking even more nice here, where we've got every time the market comes back into the zone here, we've got opportunities to get positioned to be able to take advantage of the next leg of the trend. So some very clear momentum here on gold, and certainly some very interesting market structure levels on Aussie dollar and pound yen. Now, if you want to find out more about the trading tips and techniques that we use, then come along and join us on our webinars that we're running this week. You can come along and join these by coming to the tradewithprecision.com website, come over to the trading webinars tab over here, and then if we scroll down you can find out the next webinar event that we've got running. So the next live webinar event, we've got two time zones being presented in two time zones this week, is the critical trading errors. In this session we're going to be looking at a number of different critical errors that traders, many new traders commonly fall into taking. So what we'll be looking at a lot of these errors, but most importantly how to recognize them and how to address them and overcome them. So we'll be looking at a lot of different techniques and tips here, so very useful webinar to be able to brush up on your sort of trading skills and find out what sort of tips and techniques the professionals use to overcome these common trading errors. Sessions completely free of charge to join. All you need to do is navigate to the website, come along and click on the register tab for the session that you wish to join. So that's it for today's session. I hope you found it useful, and I certainly look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.